Good evening, Town Board. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak. Oh, by the way, that was my wife, Barbara. She's the best. She is the best. She keeps me fat. Okay. In reviewing the tapes that have been played by the energy company, one of the things they put out is stopping outages. It's going to stop outages. It's not going to stop outages. You stop outages by tree trimming, circuit switches, auto reclosers. NYSEG has been doing a good job of that lately. This will not stop an outage. No storms and no trees will stop the outage. So what's going to happen in the event that this power is called upon, because you've got Times Square goes out of power. So now they're going to redirect the power back to Wood Street, down the lines to Dunwoody substation, boom, it goes down. I did the feeder runs. My background is nuclear, conventional generation, nuclear generation, substation building, transmission lines, distribution lines. I've done it. I'm a retired licensed electrician. I've had the good fortune to do all these jobs. I know what it takes to get this power where you have to bring it. It is not going to stay up here. The district operator will call a system operator and say, the system operator downtown will call the district operator, open up all your circuit breakers, black out everything up here in the North Country. We need it down in Times Square. That's what's going to happen. You're going to open all the switches, and it's all done on a computer from down, and I can't say, it's down sound. You're not going to stop a local outage. So for 4 hours, putting 160 megawatts in my backyard, and oh, by the way, when we talk about my backyard, I'm 200 feet, that's the property line. Where my window in my bedroom is, and I sleep with my wife, with 250 feet from the nearest battery. I'll go one step further. We talk about these battery containers. They're going to the site plan is calling for 180 40-foot containers. Now what that means, if you take it that size, that's about 8 to 10 acres. Look at the parking lot next to the firehouse. If you put all these containers in there, you're not going to squeeze a Volkswagen in when it's done. It just won't happen. It's too massive. We talk about thermal runaway. When that fire occurs, and it will occur, it's just a matter of when. The firefighters will fight with water to cool everything in the surrounding areas. You're probably talking, if this thing really goes up, you could put 2 million gallons of water that you're going to take off of the nearest hydrant down on Meadow Park Road, because not enough tankers are going to get up that hill. And if you've got this in the middle of a snowstorm in January at 2 o'clock in the morning, by the time you plow the snow, this fire is just going to keep going and going. So we talk about the water that's going to run off. It's going to get into the soils. We have our wells up there. My wife talked about the nightmare that went on right across from us on Meadow Park. You're all aware of that with the dry cleaning fluid. Well, I'm a little bit sensitive to drinking contaminated water. See, 1970, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I'm proud of it. And when we went down to Camp Lejeune, in Camp Lejeune, I had the occurrence to be drinking that same water. Thank God I've had no issues with it. One of my boot camp buddies that I enlisted with, he died last November from Lou Gehrig's disease, directly attributed to that contaminated water. So I am exceptionally sensitive to drinking contaminated water. We don't have to. You don't like to, you never want to taste that metal, and that's what comes out in contaminated water. We talked about where the contaminated water will flow. On the west side, it's going to go down along 118, down to Lake Shenrock, into the Amwalk. On the east side, it's going to go down through Silvergate, past Center Avenue. It's going to go into the Plum Brook, past Lincoln Hall, and then it's going into the Muscoat Reservoir. Both New York City drinking water supplies. Now, I don't know how they would even get involved with this thing and say, yeah, it's a go. They would have to say no. But stranger things have happened. And probably lastly, I'd like to say, you know, when I bought this property back in 1980, and I built my house 82 into 83. The original owners that were back there, when I did my due diligence, was Mitch Miller. He built Greenbrier and Somers on Miller Drive up there. Mitch Miller, sing along with Mitch, you all know him. Anyway, when I did my due diligence, he said that would be housing, condos, possibly office buildings. Something changed because he sold it to Ginsburg. Ginsburg sold it to the present owners. I don't know what happened in between from what I had heard 40 years ago to what has gone on today. And I suppose I should go back into the zoning board and find out where this may have changed from what he told me. And then lastly, I got to wonder, what were these owners of this, the present owners of this property thinking when they went and got involved with this? You got 90 acres of land back there, 45 of them are soaking wet, delineated wetlands by the DEC, DEP, and they came along, they decided, well, because they made a bad investment, they're going to capitalize on it, and we're the ones that are going to suffer. As everybody before me has said, who's going to pay when this thing goes off? You know, who's going to indemnify us for the toxic gases, the water contamination, anybody that gets sick, anybody has sickness, illnesses in the future? And we know when they said the air was good to breathe down in the World Trade Center, we could see what happened with that. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.